I'm Teacher Robin. Welcome to another live streaming class. If this is your first time to watch, let me explain how the classes work. Today, we're going to talk about English for video games. So if you have a question during the class, you can write it in the comment section and I'll answer your question at the end of the class. And I also have a few questions at the end of the lesson to check what you've learned, and you can write your answers in the comments as well. So before we get started with today's topic, let's look at what you learned in last week's class in case you missed it. Teacher Dell was with you and you were talking about tricky prepositions. So she actually explained what prepositions are, how to learn them because they can be difficult, and then she gave you some examples of some of the most difficult prepositions, so the differences between them. So if you missed that class and you want to watch it again, go to the video section of our Facebook page, and there you can find all of our previous classes so you can watch them again as many times as you want. You can share them on your own Facebook page or tag someone you think might want to watch the class. So today we have kind of a fun topic, and I have a special guest joining me to talk about this because video games are actually not my specialty at all. So I'm bringing in an expert, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Robin. Hello, everyone.
This is Alex from our marketing department. You may have seen her in another class when she talked about English for tourism, right? English for travel and English for the hotel with Teacher Dell. So we're happy to have her back. And Alex is a huge video game fan, right?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been playing video games?
Well, I've been playing since I was, young, but let's say 7-8 years ago.
Wow, okay, very good. So she is going to help me to explain some of this vocabulary to you. But first, let's look at how we can actually learn English through video games. You might be thinking, why would I improve my English by watching video games? So actually, video games, many of them are simulations of real life situations. So this can be very practical for you. And most often, especially if you're playing in a international setting online, then English is often the common language. So it's helpful for you to know at least some of this useful vocabulary to be able to communicate with your team players or opponents. And you can practice your reading skills, your listening skills, your speaking skills, even your writing skills if you chat with the people you're playing with. So it's actually a great way to improve. Would you say that you've learned some things in English as you've been playing video games?
Yeah, lots of things. And I also have friends that have learned like most of their English in video games. So I would recommend that as a good practice to learn and to improve, and also to gain fluency, confidence. It's really nice.
Great. Okay, so I see a few people are joining us already. Gerardo, Patty, and Anita say hello. So thanks for joining. Okay, let us know if you are video game players, if you enjoy video games, and hopefully this class will be useful for you. Okay, so first we're going to go through the different types of games that you can play. So I'm going to let Alex take you through most of this because, as I said, I don't actually play very many video games, but it's been a great, interesting experience preparing this presentation with you because I've learned a lot. Okay, so first-person shooter. Obviously, when we say shooter, does that mean that the person is actually shooting in the video game?
Yes,
or what is that?
You use shooting as a tactic, okay? It's usually, and the first-person shooter, which is the first type of game, is a game where you experience the game through the first-person perspective, okay? So you use guns, you use ranged weapons in order to defeat the enemy, of course, while shooting.
Okay, what about role-play games?
Okay, the role play is when you take on the role of a specific character class, okay? Let's say a mage, a tank, or support, and you develop these character skills and abilities in order to build like the best combination ever.
Okay. Let's see, massively multiplayer online. So this is what we were saying, you might be playing online with people from all over the world connecting to play here. And so what's the difference between that and the battle arena?
The difference is most that the battle arena is you also play with different people, but the objectives are different. You usually defend your home base from the invasion or the attacks from the enemy. And during the multiplayer online, you can either cooperate or compete against other players. That's the main difference.
Okay. All right. And then we have player versus player and player versus enemy. Okay. So with player, you're actually playing against other humans,
Against other
people.
players. You're right.
And the enemy one, what is this AI here?
That's the computer. Okay. So you compete against computer controlled machines.
Artificial
Players,
intelligence.
artificial intelligence.
Okay, good. All right, so now that we've talked about the different types of games, let's look at the different kinds of game modes. All right, so one possible game mode would be capture the flag. Okay, so is this similar to the actual game that you play? Physical game, capture the flag.
It comes from that. It's usually common in multiplayer games, and what you have to do is you have to recover. You have to take the enemy's flag and recover it to your base while defending your own.
Okay.
So it's a very competitive and also stressful type of game where you have to be like on top of it if you want to win.
Okay, you have to be alert and active. Okay, campaign mode. What is this?
Okay, campaign mode is what we know as levels, okay? And these levels, they take you to complete the linear story. Depending on the game, you can have different paths that you take, decisions that you make during the game that will affect the outcome and also the ending.
Okay, and open mode, does this mean you can do whatever you want? What is open mode?
Well, it most refers to an open space, an open map, when you are not restricted to an area. You can explore the whole map as you want. As you know, some games, you come to certain places where you can't go, okay, when there's a wall. But in an open mode, like everything is there for you to explore.
Okay, very good. And then you might have to complete a mission or a quest, right? Okay. So you could have one or more missions throughout the game.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly objective-based activities that you have to complete in order to develop the story or also to increase your level in the game. And yes, sometimes campaigns are missions are within campaigns. So depending on the game, you will have more or less missions.
Okay. I see we have a comment from Edouard. Video games are the best for learning English and to improve coordination. Okay, so do you mean coordination like speaking, like doing two things at once?
I think that's what he means. Yeah, of course, because while you're thinking, you're playing, you're talking.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I think I would lose my focus. I would be so focused on the game that I would forget to talk to my teammates.
It's all about practice, Robin.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so now let's look at some specific vocabulary related to video games. All right, so I would define myself as a noob or a newbie because that means that I don't play a lot of video games or I've never played before. Maybe it's a new game in particular for me. So this is what we mean when we say newbie or noob. Okay, what about ping or lag? What does that mean?
Okay, this ping or lag is a pain for players because it means that the connection is terrible. So the game goes slow, and it can cause you to lose what you're doing or to get killed. So whenever we have a lag or ping, we start sharing this information with our team players so they know that there's a reason why we're not performing well.
Okay, this could depend on where you are.
Yeah, it depends also on your location and your internet provider, your computer.
Okay. What about build? What is your build when you're playing video games?
Okay, the build is the configuration of a specific character during the game. Let's say skills, abilities, also items that you get before starting, but for a specific purpose, okay? Let's say that you're a healer, so you heal your team players. You might want to get skills that help you get to this function, or also buy items that can help you as well.
Okay. All right, so we have some different roles when you're playing video games, right? So you might be a streamer, you might be a support, you might be a tank or a healer. So can you just quickly tell us the differences between these roles?
Okay, let's start with streamer. Streamer is any player around the world that streams through platforms such as YouTube or Twitch their games, games online. They might have lots of fans. There are people who earn money.
So streaming
their
just
games.
Like we're watching live streaming now, you could be watching a streaming of a video game.
If you want to learn, how to play a game, watching a streamer could be good.
Maybe I'll do that. I'll start by streaming. Okay, and a support. Okay. What does a support do?
The support supports the main fighter of the team. Okay, so it helps healing, also giving this fighter skills or abilities just to go over the opponent and win.
Okay, and a tank?
A tank mostly absorbs damage and protect the weakest players.
So obviously if you get hurt or killed during a game, the healer would come and...
Exactly, and heal you.
Okay, very good. All right, a few more. A feed, what does it mean to feed?
To feed is to die constantly during a game, okay? It can be either against a whole team, or a player. And it can mean that you are a newbie, okay? And sometimes the other players can start like, I don't know,
making fun of
you, saying comments, laughing.
Okay.
So you have to be prepared, okay?
All right, and gank?
And gank is a tactic when you go and attack by surprise the enemy. Okay, you can go around the flanks, you can go laterals or from behind, and you just attack. The idea is to get a quick and easy kill for your team.
And a flamer?
A flamer is a person with a rude attitude. Okay, toxic people during the game. It's kind of a troll.
Okay.
It's a person who's always complaining and criticizing and making bad comments.
So
about other players or the game or whatever. Okay. So it's bad energy, okay? That can cause you to lose the game because the moral goes down. So don't do it, please.
Yeah. Okay, good advice. All right. Respawn, I guess, so maybe a healer could come and respawn you, or you could respawn, meaning that you would come back to life, right? If you were killed.
When you die, you respawn, usually at the base. So you have to start over.
All right.
And go and find the action.
Okay, so as you're playing, you might come across a bug in the game, so this is sort of like a glitch or when it's not working.
Yeah, it's a technical problems that may affect the game.
And the fix for that would be a patch. So,
I mean, the game developers are always informing through the channel, social media, or the website when there's a bug, and also when there will be a patch available for to solve this issue.
Okay, so here, cooldown, does this mean that you're finished with the game, or what exactly is a cooldown?
Well, you're going in the right direction. The cooldown is when you use an ability or a skill, and you have to wait in order to this ability to restart. Okay, so it's not like you're gonna shoot all the time. You just have to wait.
Because
you can have there's the dynamic of the game.
Okay.
So the cooldown, you have to be really aware of the cooldown of your powers, because as you can calculate, okay, I have 5 seconds, I have 2 seconds, now I can use it. It helps you like the strategy of the game.
Okay, so if I'm a noob and I don't know what I'm doing, I might get frustrated and rage quit.
Exactly.
So obviously rage means anger, so if you get really frustrated and angry, then you just quit the game. You say, I'm finished with this, I'm done, I don't want to play anymore. But you shouldn't do that, right? You should keep trying.
Yeah, because I mean, we
don't
play in teams, so we go together till the end. We lose. Either we lose or we win, but it's bad when somebody quits, you know, because that leaves you in disadvantage.
Okay, all right. Very good. Okay, now we're going to go through just a few video game abbreviations. So, as you know, you can chat with your team members. So, sometimes to make it easier, to make it shorter, they use some of these common abbreviations like AFK, away from the keyboard. I guess if you need to get up, get a drink, go to the bathroom or something, then you need to let the other players know that you're not available for the next few minutes. So you can write this AFK message.
And also, Robin, you can go AFK. For example, if you have lag or ping, and your computer it doesn't work.
If your
sometimes you need to shut down and restart, and then you will be AFK. But sometimes when it's good to let your team players know that you will be leaving for a couple minutes.
Okay, I see Edouard has written another comment. There is a great platform to see streamers called Twitch. Okay, I'm going to check this out. Thank you, Edouard.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, so another abbreviation, GLFH, so good luck, have fun. So I guess just encouraging people before they start the game.
At the beginning of the game.
We could say this to our live streaming class as well. Good luck, have fun.
There's also, when you finish the game and you win or lose, you can also write good game, well played, which would be GGWP.
Okay.
And that's also, congratulates the team for the effort.
Great. Okay, so I guess if you make a mistake during the game or or someone gets killed because of you, you would say, my bad. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. It was my fault, my bad. TY, obviously, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
someone helps you, you
Yeah.
thank them. What does it mean to be overpowered in...
Overpowered
In this
is an
sense.
enemy that has extreme power, so it can be difficult to kill. So you let your team players know that this character, this champion, this monster is really hard to kill. Be careful. Let's just change the build
Yeah.
in order to beat it.
Okay. Great. So this was a very quick overview of video games vocabulary. Obviously, there's a lot more vocabulary and expressions, abbreviations, but these are some of the top ones that we've chosen for you. So now we're going to ask you a couple of questions, and you can write your answers in the comments, as some of you, like Edouard, have done already. Do you play any video games? And if so, which ones do you play? So give me some ideas, as I'm a newbie. I'd like to know which video games you like to play. Okay, and the second question, Alex?
How can video games help you learn English, guys? We want to know what you consider are the benefits of playing video games in order to learn English.
Yeah, or
So
have
share
you
with us.
personally learned some English through video games? So tell us about that in the comments. Okay, I'm going to tell you quickly about the course as you're doing that. So at ABBA, we have a complete course from beginners to business level featuring 144 units. Each unit has a short film, a video class explaining the grammar, and then exercises for you to practice your English. And so if you study with us, we have our web version, our app version, so you can study from your smartphone, from your tablet, from your PC or Mac, and your progress is saved on all of those devices. So it's a great way to study anywhere and anytime. If you want to sign up with us as a free student, then you'll have access to all of the video classes as well as the first unit of each level. And then if you decide to go premium, which is the best thing to do, right, Alex?
Yes.
You will have access to all of the course content, and you'll be assigned a teacher like me who you can write to anytime you have a question. So in ABBA, we have a lot of other additional resources. Alex, you can tell us about some of these.
Yeah, of course. We've got the ABBA Journal, which is our blog where we are daily posting interesting articles about English learning. There's also our social channels on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Good. Yeah, so check all of those out. Some really great free resources for you to practice your English with us. Okay, so now let's see if anyone has written anything else. Edouard, do you have any more comments? You seem to be an expert. If not, then feel free to keep writing, and I will check your comments later on today. Let me tell you about next week's class. We started a series on a book, a movie, and a song in different cities. Teacher Dell is going to be with you next week talking about London. So that's going to be a really great class. So remember that you can turn on your Facebook notifications to receive a message anytime we're live streaming. So that's a good way to remind yourself about the class. Okay, so I want to thank Alex. Thank you so much. I could not have done this class without you. It's great to have an expert here, and I hope that you can come back and join us again
Of course.
soon.
Me too.
So thanks to everyone who is watching the class. Thank you for your comments. I hope it has been useful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.